Hello, how are you? Welcome to Hey Han. I'm your host, Hannah Fletcher, and today I spoke with Juan Rodriguez. He's a writer, a director, a producer. He does it all. Stay tuned. All right, everybody, we are joined by my good friend, Juan Rodriguez. Go ahead and introduce yourself and let everybody know who you are and what you do.
Hey, I'm Juan. I'm a writer and director from Uruguay, and I go to college here in LA. It's a fun time.
Great answer. I love it. And tell them how old you are. I feel like your age is surprising.
I'm 20.
He's 20. I'm a good 4.5 years older than you are, which I think is funny because I feel like it looks switched. So you just came out with this new film called Wild, and we were sitting on the couch one evening having a really great discussion about this film, and I had to have him come on and speak about it with you guys and just talk to us. Give us a synopsis. Let's start there with what the film is about, and then we'll kind of get into the backstory and the history of it.
Yeah, so it's pretty much a really self-contained story about a guy who loses everything and tries to find himself before he loses himself. And it's kind of vague, but I don't want to give too much.
Right.
But essentially it's a lead actor. He goes off to the woods after the loss of his wife and has to combat some inner demons before they take him.
Very neat. And then this is a short film.
Yes.
How short are you thinking it's going to end up being?
After post, it'll probably be 6 to 7 minutes.
Okay.
Not too long, but it's really like this personal story. So I wanted to keep it short.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Where did the inspiration come from for the story?
Well, I was driving back home with my parents maybe 3 years ago from Mammoth Lakes.
I didn't realize it was
It was
in
the
your
first
mind
script
for that
I ever
long.
wrote.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I'm very excited to finally get to do it. But yeah, 3 years ago, coming back from Mammoth Lakes, I'd gone through a breakup. Emotions were high.
Mm-hmm.
Tears were in the air. I started writing, and it's gone through a lot of changes since then, so it's not as sappy as a breakup story. But it's a scary little thing.
I like it. I like that you were able to take an old piece and bring it to life, rework it multiple times. I think there's so much nostalgia surrounded in projects that come about like that.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you could ask any of the actors, but we were going to shoot it last year, but things kind of got moved around just because of timing and money, and so this project's been in the works for 3 years, and every year there's a different change to it, but now we're finally at the point where we're doing it.
That's so wonderful.
I'm very excited.
I'm excited to see it. Now, it is a short film. Would you ever think about taking this and putting it into a longer feature-length type of film? If so, explain, and if not, please explain.
So, for this one, I've always thought about keeping it just very short. Like I said, it's like a strong story for what it is, and I never had the will to make it more. But I've worked on other things that I started as a short, and I was like, well, I could do more, and then I ended up writing another 65 pages, and I'm like, okay, so this is more. But no, this one's always been around 5 pages. It's a short, it's a minute per page. I think that's what we say. So
Typically, yeah.
Yeah, and the only plan for it is to put into some festivals and see how that goes.
That's my next question to you. So do you have any film festivals that you're dreaming about putting the film in, or?
Well, Dream Festival, I think, like anyone, would be any of the big ones.
Right.
But chances of that happening are fairly slim. So honestly, any up-and-comer film festival. It's my first directed short that I've done, that I wrote and directed myself and produced.
That's great. You should be so proud. How does it feel to wear so many different hats in terms of the project?
Stressful, terrifying, fun. It's good. You can see a lot of anxiety, but I wanted to do well, and not to do well, but I want to make it well.
Right.
So.
Well, you want to do it correctly. Hence why
Exactly.
mean, if you did the rushed approach, you would have done it last year, not having everything shored up the way that you wanted it to be. At least you prolonged it, but for good reasons and with good intention. I think that it's definitely going to come out to be beautiful. What would you say is your biggest goal in hopes of it coming out of post? Like, do you have anything in particular that you're looking for? coming out of it, or even like maybe what the audience will receive and take away from it?
Yeah, I just think it's a good story to help with the idea of grief. And I lost some family recently, and everyone goes through that. So I feel like if anyone's gonna pick up anything from the short, it's gonna be finding yourself in those hard times and realizing that you have people around you who want to help. And that's really what the film is. But as for post and for doing it going forward, apart from film, like festivals, man, I hope it's out. I hope it's done.
I think it will be for sure.
Hopefully.
And then my final question to you, Juan, just as a director, as a producer, editor, writer, you know, you do it all, and I can foresee you continuing to do it all. Is there any job in particular that you're extremely passionate about? Or what are your goals for yourself 5-10 years down the road?
5 or 10 years. That's a long time. I'll say, well, I love writing and I love directing. And I feel those two go hand in hand. It's hard for me to look at someone else's script and want to direct it, just because I don't have the same idea. Personally, I like to write them, you know. So I'd like to keep that writer-director tandem going as long as I can. A little different, but maybe write some comics as well.
That would be, oh my gosh, that would be so neat. Him and we had a very long conversation about comics multiple times now.
Too many times. Always my fault.
No, I enjoy them. I think they're fun
Cool.
conversations. But that would be great if you could, oh my gosh, write some comics, Juan.
That would be fun.
Stop at nothing. You're 20, keep going, you know?
That's why I thought I only had like 10 years left.
Nah, you don't. You don't. If you only have 10, then I've got like 5-ish.
Oh God.
So don't do that to me. Well, thank you so much for coming on and for speaking with us about Wild. Make sure that you guys stay tuned. We will be promoting when the film comes out. I'm sure that we'll be bringing you back as well as the cast to have a great interview, be able to kind of really do a deep dive Q&A. I would love to do that, kind of like a round table idea. Or we'll just see how many people we can fit on the couch.
Yeah. We could all squeeze in.
We could do it.
We're all good friends.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be fun. All right, everybody, well, stay tuned because Juan's not going anywhere yet because you, my friends, still have to play 10-second trivia.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. The time has come for 10-second trivia. So, first of all, Juan, are you ready to play 10-second trivia?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. All right, so the rules are you have 3 different statements. You determine whether or not they're true or false using your signs. You have 10 seconds to answer. All right, true or false? Australia is wider than the moon. True or
Wide
false?
or white?
Australia is wider than the moon. All right. Juan says it is false. Are you sure?
Yes.
And it is true. Australia is in fact wider than the moon.
Really?
The moon sits at 3,400 kilometers in diameter, while Australia's diameter from east to west is almost 4,000 kilometers. So it's got to beat, but not by a ton, but enough.
Interesting.
Right?
That's so fascinating.
The more you know. All right. Statement number 2, Juan.
Okay.
True or false? Madonna's real name is Madonna. True or false? Madonna's real name is Madonna. You think it's false?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I don't know. Both.
Well, that's you can't do that.
True. It's yes.
And the answer is true. Her name is actually Madonna. Good job.
Fantastic.
Good job. Very good. All right. So you are 1 for 1. Here comes the tiebreaker. Juan for Juan. There you go. All right, your third statement. An octopus has 3 hearts. True or false? An octopus has 3 hearts.
Legs for the legs. False.
It is true. An octopus does have 3 hearts. It has 1 main systemic heart to pump blood around its body, and it has 2 additional hearts that are responsible for pumping blood all over each of its gills.
I feel like a failure.
You shouldn't.
I do.
You shouldn't. Thank you so much for playing 10-second trivia. You still win candy.
Woo!
Woo! Thank you so much to Juan for coming in and talking to me today. I'm so proud of you. I'm wishing you all of the best of luck. And please come back and promote it once your film is out and about and ready to be seen by the public. So best of luck with all that you do. My message to my viewers today is the following. Make sure that you guys are kind to yourself. Oftentimes in life, we are not kind to ourselves at all. We're actually our own worst critic. So be sure to take a moment with yourself, whether it's being stuck in traffic and listening to your favorite song, or whether it's being home and turning on your favorite show. Be kind to yourself, because we live our lives running constantly. Even when we were in the midst of a pandemic, we were still having a lot going on inside our minds, maybe not so much outside of our bodies. We need to be nice to ourselves, and we need to tell ourselves nice things. What you hear in your head does come through and get projected to the outside of you. So if you're constantly not being nice to yourself or telling yourself that you can't do something, you're going to become outwardly way more depressed and upset and not happy. So be kind to yourself. Tell yourself good things. Affirmations are real. You don't have to necessarily stand in the mirror and power pose and say that you've got this or that you can do it. But you need to make sure that you are demonstrating positive ideals in your mind to yourself. Because it's only then when you work on the inside that it's going to come through on the outside. And just be kind to yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I'm your host, Hannah Fletcher. Stay safe, God bless, and I will see you guys through the screen. Bye, everybody.